If your income looks like a heart monitor right now and there's a big spike up and big spike down, then this is for you, especially if you want to stabilize this. You're someone who can pull off big pushes and big launches. You've been able to make money, you can promo, you can stack clients and give them amazing results. But every time you do, there's a cost. You either get sick after, you have like bone chilling migraines, insomnia that keeps you up at night and wakes you up at 3 a.m., flare-ups from injuries from decades ago, and just unexplained, mysterious exhaustion and fatigue that hits you out of nowhere, especially when it gets busy. And so you tell yourself, it's okay, it's just a busy season, but yet somehow every season is busy. And you know how to make money. That's not the problem. But you can't stabilize it without your health tanking and your brain checking out and feeling guilty for 5 days for resting for an hour. And you've already tried many things. You've done money mindset work, embodiment work, energetic work, better planning, better systems, business masterminds, and you're still stuck in the feast and famine cycle. If you've already tried all of those, it's not the end of the world, and your income is not bound to be this way forever. There is a fix, and it is through your nervous system. Your nervous system is just doing its job way too fucking well. Your nervous system runs in the principle of its main role being for your survival, not for your success. So when you grow more clients, more income, more impact, more eyes on you, more visibility, and when your business ramps up, it can perceive that as threatening, not success, because it is wired to look for things that are wrong. So when it sees more demand, more risks, more responsibility, more potential areas to fail, more potential to be misunderstood, more potential to be scrutinized by the internet, it will perceive that as something that is threatening. And this is what I saw a lot in the ER. I watched bodies go into full survival mode, but for your case, you're living in a real world, chaotic emergency room when you are inside your business. So your system floods you with stress chemistry, right? The adrenaline, the cortisol, and this is meant to keep you alert from those threats, which is very helpful, right? And you do need that energy to launch, to create something big and to just finish shit, right? This is good for the short term, but not for the long term. And the cost of this is you feeling exhausted afterwards, especially if you do not know how to properly recover. So you will need those big pushes, and each push needs to be bigger to make the same amount of money, and then huge crashes to recover longer and longer periods. And so your inconsistency is longer and longer, which affects your momentum, making you lose money, right? And so that's why it's unstable. And eventually, once you've done this pattern over time, your body starts associating making money with suffering. And so it keeps you in that loop. And this is something that no amount of mindset work can help, because this is now a body process. It's now in your biology. It is now in how your posture is, how you breathe. So you find yourself in either sides of the spectrum here, where you've got the feast cycle, where you override your body's signals, you grind hard, you ignore the signals of slowing down because you have that adrenaline rush and that lack of pain temporarily to help you push through that launch. And then after that, when that wears off, you then start to get overwhelmed. And if you keep pushing, you'll taper over into freeze mode when you're system hits a wall. So that's when you get sick, numb, and foggy, and you might have a lot of energy and tension in your system, but your body is in energy conservation, so it's not going to help you move. This is the most dangerous part because you have the motivation, you do have the mindset, you do have the belief because you have done this before, but your body is just not in that place because it's conserved energy from being in survival for way too long. This is not random burnout. If you actually look at it this way, it follows a very clear pattern. And so when you stay in this is why you're inconsistent in marketing. This is why you disappear after launches. And that is when you stop after momentum actually kicks in because your body has just said, we're done. And if you stay regulated throughout the entire time, your body will not tap out. This is not a mindset problem. If you have, it's more an energy resourcing problem. And so if you do have sustained energy and you know how to sustain your energy, stopping isn't even a problem because you'll just have enough. You'll just naturally do it. That's the beauty of having a regulated nervous system and an adaptive one. You'll just take action. After working with hundreds of business owners, this is the pattern that frequently shows up. But when they actually know how to resource their energy well, which, by the way, doesn't mean adding more to your plate, it's quite the opposite. It's adding less to your plate and removing the shit that really isn't necessary anymore based on the chapter in their business and their current life. And so, if your income is stuck in the feast and famine cycle and your body keeps on tapping out and crashing every time you grow, you don't need to be in another business mastermind. You need a nervous system that can actually hold what you're building. Because once you expand that capacity in real time, the same amount of work creates a more stable, more effective, and more consistent income instead of the roller coaster month that actually will wreck your health in the long term. So, if you're absolutely done with this income roller coaster and you can actually help more people without crashing, check out the links in the comments and I'll show you how to improve your cash flow without crashing and start rewiring the pattern that's keeping you and your income in a chronic state of survival mode.